So today we want to understand what brands are or what branding is. And oftentimes we have a misconception about what branding is. We think it's just about coming up with your logo, coming up with banners, coming up with teardrops, diaries, and all those things. But it's a lot more than that. What you need to understand that your brand is an intangible thing. It's an intangible meaning. You cannot touch it because it's about the reputation that you have. Your brand, what basically the word brand means, it's not a logo, it's not the banners, it's not those things. It's about people's perceptions of who you are. It's about the gut feeling that they have. What feeling comes up? What emotion comes up when people hear your brand or your business name, your company name? That is now what tells if you have a good brand or not. And this is both for business and even for personal branding. That is why one of the tests that we normally administer is to ask someone, when people think about your name, what comes to mind? That thing that they will say, the answer that they will give, that is your brand. So if they say that, what comes to mind is a person who always gets late, that is your brand, which you might have created intentionally or unintentionally. And unfortunately, most of the time we neglect brand building. But the thing is, we cannot avoid brand building because you already have a brand whether you like it or not. People are going to have perceptions about you whether you like it or not. So unfortunately, most of us could build our brand out of neglect, not being keen about whatever people will think, my employer will think. But the thing is, they're already concluding something. And even if you're not being intentional about it, there's already a reputation that you have, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. So that means you already have a brand. And it means it's very important for you to be intentional about that brand that you want to build. But now the thing that we also need to know is that great brands are not built by accident. They are built through intentional, imaginative and creative strategies so that you position this brand how you do want it to be perceived by people. You have to ask yourself, what is that image that you want to create? What is that perception that you want people to have about you? So that now you work backwards. You start asking ourselves, so how do we need to move? How do we need to communicate? What are the colors that we need to use so that we then bring that image, or so that these people have that image of us, a certain perception of us, so that we create a certain reputation. That's very, very important. And remember, we've said that if you do not take that time being intentional to really create the brand that you would want to have, people are going to create it for you. So you will have created the brand through neglect. It is never a good thing because it will always be something negative. It is something that you don't want to be associated with. So the best thing is to be at the forefront of creating that brand. There's a difference then with creating that brand, what we have talked about, these perceptions and thoughts and feelings that people will now have about you, and a business. So there's a difference between a brand and a business. The business is about selling products and services and getting profit. Remember, you have to be getting profit. And the question now becomes, how does building a brand help your business? That becomes the biggest question. And when people are able to have positive associations with you, because of the experiences that they have had or the things that they have learned in the course of interacting with you, or seeing the values that you have, seeing the cause that you stand for and how you talk about it, how you explain it, and they realize, by the way, it resonates with who I am as a person. These values, I also have them, or what they are standing for is what I would want to stand for. They now start creating a relationship with your business. And that means they will most likely choose your products, they will most likely start choosing you over all the other businesses that are selling the same products or services that you have. So that is why, or that is how, when you build a brand for yourself, it impacts the business. And sometimes, because it's all about perceptions, it's about the software, it's about mindsets and attitudes that people are going to have, and emotions, the things that they feel that are impacting this whole process. It is such a strong thing, these perceptions are such a strong thing, that eventually these people, they just stick to this one brand because that's what they love. And they will always have opinions when another brand is introduced. Let me give an example of this test, a comparison test that's normally done, where people normally use this product. Let me give an example with a business has certain products, and there's already people who have been buying this product. So this group of people, 2 samples are taken, and they are given the same product. Just that for one sample, one group of people, they will not know that this product, it's unbranded or it's not labeled, so they don't know the name of the brand that they will be consuming. But one of them knows the name of the brand. And oftentimes you will always realize that when that test is done, the group of people who know the name of the brand because it's labeled and they can say, oh, it's the brand that I love, they will always have positive perceptions and feedback and opinions of that product that they are consuming, while the people who are being given the unlabeled product, remember, it is the same brand that they have been consuming, but at this point, they will actually have different views. Some of them will say, this brand is not so good. Some of them, it might be average. Some of them will maybe like the brand, but opinions will change. And you will hear that there are some of them who will not like the product at all. So remember that these are people who have already been consuming this product, and that means them not knowing that it's the brand they love has an impact. That's why they are now starting to complain or have negative feedback. But if they knew it's the brand that they normally consume, there would have been a difference. And that means the perceptions that we normally have, the things that we have learned along the journey through the experiences that we have had with these companies, there's some memory that we are taking. That memory with time is going to be making you to automatically just go for that product or that brand without thinking much. And that is how comes building a brand can be helpful for your business. Because now you are building a relationship. This person is able to build a relationship with your product, and they will be able to choose you time and time and time again and not choose the other ones. So there's a relationship that is built that will make now this person advocate for who you are, the things that you stand for, even the new products that you're going to produce, and certain very strong ingrained perceptions and mindsets. And that is what happens with brands like Apple. Even before a new product comes up, people already love the product. They haven't even tried it. They don't even know if it's a good product, but they have developed a relationship with this brand. And then the brand has continued to be authentic. The quality and the things they stand for, they make sure that they deliver. So that means these people, they don't want to hear any other brand apart from this one. And it's because of certain perceptions that have been built over them in the course of time. So it's very important that we remember that building a brand will be important for your business, to be able to stand out, to be able to come across differently, to be unique, having a unique position in people's minds, having that relationship where they are able to choose you again and again and again. Eventually they become the brand advocates, such that they're the ones who are doing marketing for you because of how much they love your brand. So they will just share the word out there. So that is why building a brand is important for your business.